Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, the podcast where we bring you inside the world of joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and powerful collaborations. Each episode, you'll dive into conversations with top entrepreneurs, visionaries, and business leaders, unlocking the secrets to building profitable relationships that drive growth and success. Whether you're looking to expand your network, find new referral partners, or scale your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Did you know that you could do this? Did you know that in the background here, if you do these things, you can, they'll have, there's hearts, and then there's lasers.
How come I don't get it.
Do you have an Apple computer?
Yeah. I just maybe need to upgrade it.
Over here, put it to the side.
Yeah, I think I just maybe need to install the newest install.
It
sucks.
Yes, try that. I didn't do it for you. I don't know. Oh, well. Anyway.
Yay!
Welcome to the show, Karen Gonzalez.
Oh, the Karen Gonzalez show. Woo!
So we met in New Orleans in the film community, actress and real estate agent now, entrepreneur. And so a lot of this show is about partnerships, referral partnerships. How does that affect business? So tell me how, and I'm just going to go into, I like to treat this a lot of times like a selfish podcast for me. Let me turn this off.
It's okay. Do it.
We're going to start. I treat this as a selfish thing so that I can learn. So when you're with your acting experience and you're moving into like real estate, how are you using those acting talents and infusing them into your real estate business?
Oh my goodness. So I think my acting really helps a lot when it comes to, I think acting is going to help in any business. When you set up your sights on acting in film and television or theater in Hollywood, you learn a lot. And so I think you learn to navigate lots of unique personalities in Hollywood, and which helps you address a variety of different types of customers that you're going to find. But yeah, and it also just, I think that's the main thing. It's like you're able to, just like be the person to navigate personalities. I think sales has a lot to do with each individual person. And so my experience, I think, has really lended my acting. The unique characters in acting have lent to my unique customers and being able to service them and help them however I can.
When you're doing content on social media, you seem very free. You're very free. How are you coming up with these concepts? Are you looking at something and you're inspired by it, or you're like, oh, that's a good idea, I'm just going to do that?
I wish I said I was a well-oiled machine. I'm very much need sometimes a creative spark. So you'll see that one thing I need to work on is being more consistent. And in those times, there's things to do. There's simple things to do that I could be doing, like simple flyers, right? But I really love video content. I think that having your face talk and people see you and being seen is super important. I know a lot of people don't like to be on camera, but it really helps the customer kind of like see who you are. And so, yes, it's a lot. It's a lot with the video marketing stuff. But it's good. It's good for the face, you to be kind of always reminding people who you are, and building that trust on screen with them, so that when they come into your office, they're like, oh yeah, I saw you. And one thing too is trying to be as close to your persona as possible. So there's so many people you meet online and they're big characters, but then you meet them in person and they're just not anything close or remote to that. Specifically me, I don't know other people, I've tried to stay as close to that as possible. So however I am on Instagram and being super silly or goofy or approachable is the same exact way I'm going to receive you when I see you. And I think keeping that persona as close to as possible is helpful, I think, in sales, especially when you're selling someone, a big asset like a home. They really want to trust you. It's not like a a Dyson hair dryer, which is still really expensive. Hair tool, but it's a $500,000 purchase, at least in the communities that I'm working for. So yeah, building that trust.
So when you're creating the content, are you batch creating it in like one day, or are you doing it like as you get inspired to do it? How does that work?
Sometimes the inspiration will come in a day and I'll come up with like 3 or 4 creative ideas. And so, yeah, there's batch creating. I typically don't even change my clothes. Some people like say they bring a different shirt or anything. I don't. Sometimes it kind of all ends up flowing together in a way that you didn't even realize. Like when I batch create, sometimes 2 things, I'll use like the skateboarding clip in one thing to be the thing that catches everyone's eye in the next clip. But in the next day, I'll post the actual video that I'm skateboarding in. So it's like, yeah, it's batch creation when I'm inspired. And then sometimes I just don't have anything and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to post, a template off Canva and just get like some home facts in there and kind of do that in between when I'm not feeling that creative spark.
How about, I see you do some lip sync videos. How are those working for you? Like, engagement on those?
I find when I use, people really love my personal life. So if I find, sometimes I'll scroll on my Instagram and find things that are very relatable to my personal life in reels, and I'll use those reels and I'll do that the week before I post my career driven posts to get more views on my career driven posts. I also am not, some people want division. I don't care. In my work, so my work post, I'll constantly collaborate or tag a work post. I'll get more engagement in that way in the beginning. So I like to tag and interfere. Some people like to keep it separate, which I can understand too. I think you're going to go to it at a slower pace if you start with just your business and not linking it to your personal page, because it's such a personal decision. Buying something, knowing someone is so personal. So for me, I'm probably always going to remain that. And I've also kept my content. I love the kids. So I've always kept my content like PG-13. So I've never really been afraid to connect the two. That's just kind of the way I wanted to lead my image in a way. I love the kids and I don't want to confuse them. So my content it doesn't mean that there's a lot of adult content that I love and then I'm always like one little push away from sharing, but I kind of tend to keep my stuff very PG. I just PG-13 even, and so collaborating with my personal page and has been helpful to me, and I'll get more engagement that way.
So you're saying you get more engagement when you're posting personal stuff?
Yes, and before I batch create any work stuff too. So I'll get like 4,000 views on something that's like just relatable, Instagram reel, something. So I just try to find things that are relatable to me that I like. And since I have that actor bone in me, I'm like, there's nothing cringe. There's no real cringe enough. That word doesn't exist. And I think it's a new word for the young kids, but like that doesn't exist. You're either not going to do it or you're going to do it. So there's nothing too cringe I won't try. There's no trend. The dancing ones I won't do because I just would need like 2-week practice. And so it takes me, trust me, there's a few dance ones I've tried and they've never seen the light of day because it's not that I'm not good at dancing, but choreograph and like TikTok dancing is like a whole nother thing. And yeah. I would love to incorporate it, but I'm not good at that. Like I'm not necessarily good at the dancing stuff, choreograph stuff. So I haven't done, but I've tried because those are the things that get the most that's how TikTok blew up, was little kids learning cool dance moves on a new, top song. So I think being as close to trending as you can, but sometimes staying true to yourself, picking trends that you're going to excel in versus, looking the fool. But sometimes if you look a fool doing it, you might get views too. So there's no.
You absolutely will get views. But so let's unpack that a little bit, because I love talking about and what stops people from posting something. Because obviously you have that performer gene in you. So you're an actress. How do you when you first posted like a quote unquote cringy type video, right? Or whatever millennials or what are they, Zennials? What do they call these people these days?
He's and Jenny, yeah, all of them. They just think that everything millennials do, not all of them, some of them,
Or
they
cringe.
cringe. We're
Yeah.
cringe because we try the dumb thing, right? It's okay.
Yeah. So when you put out that first piece of cringe content, right? What did you feel about it? Like, were you like, when you were creating it, were you thinking about, oh man, this is content that maybe somebody might go, ooh, or you might think of, oh my God, is this cringe or whatever, or embarrassing content, which I don't think it is. But once again, you have that performer gene in you, right? So it's like that kind of goes out the window. But did you have those thoughts when you first started creating content like that?
Did I have cringe moment thoughts? No, I think every transition in my life, I've felt like I've had to reintroduce myself to a public maybe in a new way. And so, transitions can be tough, and it's like great. Like I was pursuing acting in Hollywood for so long, and that was cool. Like people were like, ooh, people were tuning into that because it's a very unique storyline. But then when I moved back to my hometown to be a realtor, it's not a very unique storyline. Like people weren't tuning in as much, right? So I think it was hard that transition to create like this new excitement over this new chapter of my life, and to be just as sparked about being, helping people sell homes is like, ooh, a Hollywood star. Like that's just no, you can't really top that. So I think starting off, I felt maybe just like everything was a weight of cringe, but I think no, I would say no, 80 20, 80%, nothing's ever been cringe for me. I've never been nervous to try something new. Um, that's just, so yeah, just try it, do it. I find them on Instagram. I see trends I see and I won't. I'm like, no, I can't do that one. But there are so many that if I see one and I'm like, okay, let me try this out. And I do it, which is like a simple one. I think I was like, it's now your sign to buy a new home. And I like rode by with a sign holding, and I copy. It's like every original idea is found on someone else's, it's just creating your own spin on it. And so I think almost every creative idea has been done, almost. And I feel that way. I mean, yes, every now and then someone will come up with some really great thing, but just recreating it in your own way, you have a whole unique audience. Like no one, whoever saw that video, guarantee your audience hasn't seen it. So just do it. And you're putting your own creative spin on it also, I think, is
Yeah, I
is
love that.
I wouldn't say no. So sorry, I can ramble on, but no, I would not say I ever felt really cringe to try something, to try a new social trend or anything revolving my social media. I want to keep it like safe and, it like, PG-13 ish in a way. But other than that, no, nothing's off limits really.
What advice would you give? And I know I have a lot of attorneys that listen to this podcast, but what kind of advice would you give an attorney who's, wanting to create some content on social media? They want to push their brand, but they're, super afraid of kind of losing face and credibility, and when they're creating content to like try and find out who they are if they've never performed before. What kind of advice would you give them in
To
that space?
to attorneys, oh man. They're just a different type of breed of human, I think. So are doctors. What's funny is I worked for one of my sales jobs was a recruitment of second opinion doctors for trial. So I worked with doctors and attorneys for a little bit. So I kind of know those unique personalities as well. But yeah, some advice I'd have for attorneys. We go through, as actors, we go through so much training, and I'm really lucky that I had a manager that knew every like legit place to train in LA to like really stack my resume. And in those classes, a lot of them were improv based. And I think attorneys could really use a good, like there needs to be more like corporate improv classes across the globe. If I could create a program, because I think people, you got to let loose. You got to let loose. You got to get on all four knees and start barking around like a dog and play pretend. And like, it's weird and you're going to feel extremely uncomfortable. But then you know, obviously not in front of a potential client, right? But you got to be able to, on your day off, take a class and start getting out of your comfort zone, because all of that draws, when you can improv and you can like act like a chicken and just like act completely ridiculous, then you kind of start shedding the caring about that so much, because you've allowed, okay, I've already barked like a dog in front of all these people. I've been in so many acting classes that have called for me to feel so uncomfortable that I think now I'm just so not. One of the first acting classes I did, I think is it Norway, where they rub noses when they meet, and the president, and I think the president there and Barack Obama did it. Like, was it?
Maybe. I'm not sure, but I know what you're talking about.
It's somewhere, and it may not be Norway, so people don't come after me if I'm wrong. But
comment in there.
we did it for an acting class. Like in the first 5 minutes of meeting 20 people, our instructor told us to stand up, and every single person had to rub noses, like literally be this close to everyone. You didn't know if they brushed their teeth. Like everything ran through my brain that day. Like, what if they smell weird? Like, do I hold my breath? Am I going to make them feel weird? Your brain starts racking, right? But this is the assignment. I have to rub my nose with every single person and get this close to them. That was the best. We broke the ice. There was nothing else that could be so weird, and it allowed for creativity. It allowed for expression, self-expression. And so, yes, I would highly recommend attorneys look up improv courses or around them. And not everyone is treated equally. In bigger cities, you have a lot of greater options. United Citizens Brigade is very reputable. Groundlings, if you look at the alumni there, Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, Second City. So look up, reputable acting, improv troupes and companies. And I totally would just like get loose, get weird. I think there's money to be made there. And I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm speaking about this at the 8-Figure Firm conference in September about improv and I hadn't really talked about how to use improv to like let go in terms of being in front of the camera, but I'm talking mainly about how to use improv in like sort of the brainstorming and your leadership meetings. Because I think a lot of times when you're in your leadership meetings or in a meeting in general, and you guys are trying to solve a problem and everybody just gets caught up in the problem and they're just thinking about the problem. And the problem is that there's no real external brainstorming, creative element that comes in. And what happens is you're constantly editing. And if you've ever written something, or if you've ever acted or performed or done anything, you can't brainstorm and create and edit as well. And I think a lot of people are just editing and forgetting about the creative end. And dude, improv is such an amazing tool, right? Like, I've been doing improv since 2005, right? And just what an amazing freeing experience, just like you said, right? Like when you're barking like a dog, or you're modern dancing, World War II, you know what I mean? And interpretive dancing that. I mean, how silly can you get? But yes, once the embarrassment and all of that stuff starts to shed off, then you can start living authentically. Yeah. And I talk about this all the time. So I'm really happy you brought that up. And let's dig some more into that, because I think it's a super amazing topic, not just for attorneys, but people in general, because improv is such a good way to operate in life anyway, right? Yes, and making your partner look good, trusting your instincts, saying the first thing that comes to your head, right? All of those things that we learn in improv that we go, oh yeah, this is how we interact with a human being. This is how we build off of them. This is how we make them feel good. Like if I'm like, hey wifey, what's up? And you're like, I'm not your wife. And you're like, great. This going nowhere very quickly, right? But it's that yes anding, and we're building, right? And there's a lot of things that are happening. So with that being said, why do you think that there's such a apprehension to letting go, right? Like when you are in those classes and you are like thinking about this stuff, and I know it's a deep question to be thrown at you right there, but what do you think is going on with people, and why are they so like blocked from being able to let go and just kind of dive into those spaces and those moments?
Oh my gosh. I don't know why my brain went here, but it just went to like somebody told them or embarrassed them or shamed them in expressing themselves in some way, maybe when they were younger.
Yeah.
Or, that could be a deeper root that some people could explore, that maybe your mom was like, shh, stop, um, we're busy right now, or, simple. It could be as simple as that. I don't know.
Were you like that as a kid?
Oh, I grew up in a very fast pace. My mom was a single mom. And so there wasn't, yeah, I love her to death. And we put on shows for her too in the living room. And she was super sweet. But I wouldn't say she was so busy with her own life, making sure we were fed and keeping the lights on and getting all those things done, that I wouldn't say my mom was like my, she like holding a sign and making sure she was always there. She would have, if she had the time and the resources, I think, but she just was busy. So I didn't necessarily have all that support, and maybe that's one of the reasons that I pushed so much for it. I got it from teachers, or from other outsourced sources, like, you're good at this, you're a little ham, come on girl, come on. So I got that validation I think more from amazing teachers. But I don't know. I think everyone has to kind of look inside of them and just figure out, what exactly is holding you back. I don't know if there's one thing that's holding everyone back from from stopping, letting, why someone would be afraid to like let go. Maybe it's one person that did it back in the day. Maybe it's the embarrassment, to be embarrassed or to look stupid. I think a lot of people are just the fear of looking stupid, which is such an easy one to overcome. I think the trauma ones and the other ones, like someone said, deep rooted, that's harder. But like, if it's just because you feel stupid, what's stupid is you not trying anything because you feel stupid and being stuck here and you're just in a little, oh, well, that's stupid. That's, to me, that's more stupid to
Right.
and feeling that it's so stupid and never trying than to just look stupid. Look stupid. You probably will. You probably will look really stupid. And everyone kind of always looked really stupid trying anything for the first time.
Yeah.
And so it's repetition, it's getting good at it. And so, yeah, you're going to feel really stupid. Even improv. I've been in improv classes where I was the worst. I felt like I was the worst one. I'm like, man, all these people are good. They think on their feet. Everyone's laughing after like they have their set and their moments. And I was awful. I was yes anding, but I left there and even auditions looking like an idiot, feeling like shit. Yeah, you're going to look like shit. You're going to mess up. You're going to look stupid. But when you keep pushing, right, and you keep attempting to put yourself out there and possibly look stupid, it will feel less stupid. And I think you'll start to slowly, but you have to kind of want to. You got to want to do it too. No one's going to push you to the fire.
Yeah.
Value in it, and they're going to have to want to do it.
Well, I mean, and you see that a lot now with just attorneys and professionals that are like, I gotta be on social media. You know what I mean? And it's just like a slog for them,
Setting yourself up, then it will be. It's going to be shit because you're already like, this is shit. It's going to be awful. Like if someone wakes me up and it's like, oh, today's going to be an awful day. I'm like, well, fuck, it's going to be, is it? Oh my God, it probably will be. Like, at least that's how I am. I'm very heavily affected by energy and like people's morale, right? If I'm around a group of really sad people mourning someone, I'm going to, I'm going to sit in that with everybody and kind of absorb that, mimic the same energy around me. But if it's all about your energy, it's all about, and I mean, look, I have bad days too. I'm a grouch. Okay. I'm not trying to like have that fake positivity either. Okay.
Yeah.
But trying to turn it around. It's like especially if you're trying to grow your business and go on social media and and it's your responsibility. If you want more clients, I don't know if you need to be seen. How does anyone know that you exist? There's no phone book anymore. Like you have to be seen. Visibility is your responsibility. And so you just got to do it. Just like
visibility is your responsibility. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that down. Visibility is your responsibility.
Yeah. It's you. So, and the more, and like I said, if you don't like the camera, just start small. Start with an intro.
Yeah.
Saying the intro to something and then narrate whatever is after.
Yeah.
But pop in here. And then slowly, gradually, if you start getting more comfortable being the face of your social, but you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Not everyone wants to be standing, mic'd up and ready to go. I don't mind. Because we have that. I'm not scared. I'm not nervous. Let's tell me what to say. And I'll say, tell me what to say and I'll say it. I'm ready. But, start slow.
The aha moment I just had talking to you, because I'm so past being scared about doing something like that, right? Like, I'm like, yeah, it's a camera, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, give me, it's a microphone. Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm so far past being worried about it that I often forget that is a big reason why people don't start, right? And I was just like, holy shit, yeah, it just dawned on me that like I gotta come back now when I am in like a sales conversation with with an attorney or somebody that's like, yeah, I want to get on social media. I have to remember that if they've never done this before, that they're really feeling that pressure to like, oh God, I'm going to be on camera and I'm going to be in front of people and I'm being more visible. And that means this and that. They've got all of this head trash going on that I'm like not even aware of because I'm just so far past it. But, thanks for the reminder and the aha to go, yeah, let me sit back and really understand where somebody's frame of mind is when they're first starting out, right? Because it's just like completely foreign.
It's foreign. They don't want to do it. Some people refuse to do it. I mean, the internet is a baby. The internet is a baby. And we like this, people feel like, oh, there's so many people doing this. There's so many. No, it's like, I was born in 87, no shame in that. And like the internet was in the 90s, like, right? 90s. When did the internet officially launch? I don't know. Is it 96? The internet was not that old. Early 90s.
Yeah, I think 92 I had my first computer.
Yeah, the internet is so new. It's not like these things have been around 1,000 years and you're like some ancient ass person jumping on a bandwagon. This is all new. This is all new for the taking. Ideas, concepts, apps, all of it is for the taking. It's just coming up with those, creative ideas. But yeah, don't be scared. Don't be a scaredy cat. Just do it.
Yeah.
Nike saying is literally one of my favorites. Just do it.
Just do it. And visibility is your responsibility. I love it. I'm going to start using that. Karen, how do they follow you?
I am on Instagram, my352 realtor. No, I changed it. See, how do I do this? How do I make a living? I don't know. My 352 new home, my 352 new home on Instagram. My personal is Karen Gonzalez 87 on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. If you search me by my name, Karen Gonzalez. I do post, but I cross post a lot. I think those are probably the main two platforms. I try to cross post on YouTube and TikTok as well. And do YouTube shorts. I'm trying to get into long form YouTube, even though I don't want to, for like floor plans, because customers really want like a slow walkthrough through a home versus like the quick 12-second snapshot of. So I'm diving into that. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
There you go. Karen, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. You guys follow her because it's fun content. Really, really fun. And I will see you soon.
See you soon. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Partnerships for Profit. We hope you've gained valuable insights on how to form profitable partnerships and take your business to the next level. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got a partnership story to share or someone you'd like to see featured on the show? Reach out to us. Until next time, keep building those partnerships for profit.